we don't have that cheat death, so let's just see. Now, when we start off, we obviously have no...
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
What's going on, YouTube? It's Filthy, and we're back with another video. Today we're looking at Wave of Light, which is arguably the best key farm build in the game. Some people like Wave of Light more than Gears of Dreadlands Demon Hunter. Some people like Gears of Dreadlands. It just depends on which side of that fence you fall. With really good gear, good player, this is probably going to get you more keys per hour. You often see Lexiu and Rax play this. Wave of Light for keys. I think for 9 out of 10 people, God is probably going to be a little better because it's just a tad easier. But we're going to go through both flavors of Wave of Light. We're going to do Sunwuko. We will do it with no main stat Paragon, so that will be under 10k and cheat damage of about 1 million. I will show you Sunwuko with the Paragon in, or at least the spec that I would swap onto just to make it again a little easier. And then we'll show Legacy Dreams. Different flavor. Looks very similar, but again, that's probably a bit more of an end game setup because obviously you need your LoD gem at 99 and you need your ancient items and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, let's just jump in and look at Wuko. Now, this isn't the starting set. Sadly, we get the piece of garbage that is Raymond for Monk. So whether you want to gear this up straight away, it does work at 800 Paragon pretty well. Patterns of Justice with cruddy gear and, you know, very little Paragon behind it is probably a little better shout on T16 to start off with, but this is certainly, in my opinion, is faster than the Patterns of Justice. But again, I know people like that. Two-piece we don't care about, damage reduction, because as always guys, it is gold wrap, it is the boon of the hoarder. Avarice Band we do not have, but on 2.7 the follower gets their own inventory. This will emanate, so we get pickup radius. Same goes for Nems, guys. The follower would take them. They would take canes, they would take sages, gloves of worship, broken crown, whatever setup it is you want for extra keys and all that kind of stuff. 4-piece, again, we don't care about it. Sweeping Wind does 0 damage, but we do like the 6-piece. Wave of Light gets 1500% per Sweeping Wind stack. We start off with none, so at the start of the rift we do hit a bit like a noodle, but as we crit and hit, we basically get this up, and we can have up to 13 stacks, so we need a Vengeful Wind. The modifier on here you don't care about at all, and we have to take the Vengeful Wind for Sunwuko. We don't for the Legacy Dreams one, we take Kirishira's Blade. We can't fit Kirishira's Blade in this one because we want the in-gem so we can move around the map super fast. We're going to do 5 pieces of Sunwuko. We're going to take Crimsons, so Belt and Boots are the 2 slots for that. Crimsons, more damage, more cooldown, more resource cost reduction, more toughness. Again, the toughness we don't really care about. We have to take the Sunwuko Amulet, obviously, which is what makes it all work. And we replace the helmet with a Zokrin's Gaze. This makes Wave of Light cast at range. And we do also get extra damage on it. I think it's additive, so I probably wouldn't sweat it too much, but it can give up to 150%. Pintos again gives us a slow, which is nice, and also up to a 150 damage mod. I've gone for the Zeiss as the gem just because I think it hits Juggernaut a little harder, but by all means, because you get the automatic slow off the Pintos, a Bane of the Trapped, absolutely fine to take. Rourke goes on the character to make up the bonuses because in the cube we have the squirts. Now we're going to do the usual shielding trick, so we need a Gizzard at only 25, doesn't have to be 110. This gives us a shield, the gold wrap, Avarice Band, Boon of the Hoarder, keep the shield up for the entire time, and we get double damage. At later goms we don't need this for Sunwuko, but early on it's worth taking it for a double damage mod. As always, Wave of Light has the Incense Torch of the Grand Temple in the cube, so we get whopping damage on Wave of Light and 50% resource cost reduction, which is cool. Gold wrap in the cube for toughness. There is a shout potentially for Kirishira's Soul because the Sweeping Wind stacks do drop off sometimes. It's just how it is. So this could go into the cube, and that would, you know, maybe give us Sweeping Wind stacks that don't drop off. But the downside obviously is then your squirt starts dropping. So again, possibly a bit more of an option with later goms. You'd have to probably swap a few of these things around to get a bit more toughness. But by all means, if the stacks dropping off annoy you, then that is the fix for that. We've got Zodiac providing cooldown whenever we hit with Wave of Light. We get cooldown reduction on skills, which is great. We've got an in-game. Now, mine has got 8 seconds. You only need 8 seconds. Teleport for Monk Dashing Strike is on an 8-second cooldown. You don't need to sweat this getting a 10-second one. It would be helpful, obviously, because we do have some long abilities, which obviously would be kind of good to get 10 seconds off, but we don't care too much. Cooldown is obviously very important, but I would probably say number one stat roll is attack speed. So attack speed cooldown on both weapons if you can. I don't have it, but it would be nice. Attack speed and cooldown default and Zodiac, perfect. The Rogue basically has default attack speed, so again, if you can get one with main stat socket attack speed cooldown, that would be kind of handy. Just something that isn't vitality, guys, basically. Fire on braces, fire on amulet if you can. Double crit socket fire would be super nice for this. Cooldown on the shoulders. Area damage is quite a good one to take. You will melt with area damage, so again, cooldown area damage would be nice. Which would be pretty good. Wave of Light goes on boots. We obviously get the pretty big one here. Again, we don't need to sweat it too much, but that is a place to pick it up. I think that covers the gear and the swap. So let's have a quick look at the skills. Wave of Light, Explosive Light, obviously is the fire. Epiphany, Insight is here for spirit regen. Because we've got the Zodiac, because we've got the in-gym, we do get this back. It is up quite a lot. Mystic Ally, Air Ally, Spirit Regen just passively, and we pop it for Spirit Potion. So if we end up attacking like a goblin or something single target, and the spirit does get a little low, we just press W and we get some more spirit. Sweeping Wind we may as well go Fitness Storm. Spirit per second makes a lot of sense. Mantra of Conviction, Annihilation passively, it's 8% more damage to enemies within 30 yards, and then we pop it and we get damage increase up to 16%, so may as well take a bit of extra damage. Obviously it has to be within 30 yards, but we do also get increased move speed when we kill stuff, so again, if we run out of in-gym we move a little faster. Dashing Strike, Quicksilver, 3 charge, keeps us moving very fast on the map with the in-gym. Once we get in-gym up we are away. Cooldown, Beacon of Utah, 20% cooldown, obviously brilliant. Momentum, moving 25 yards, increases damage by 20% for 6 seconds. Exalted Soul gives us max spirit and spirit regen. And Seize Initiative, higher attack speed, which is obviously pretty nice. Again, very nice for the teleport, very nice for Wave of Light. Now, there is no cheat death. Follower will be taking that for us. So obviously, again, we can't really demonstrate that without changing the passives. But I think that's it. So let's go and jump in now. We might just get squished at the start of the rift. Obviously, no main stat Paragon, because we don't have that cheat death. So let's just see. Now, when we start off, we obviously have no. And there we go. We teleport right into the spear chucker. But yeah, we've got no sweeping wind stacks when we start, which obviously sucks. And they take a bit of time to build up. Now, once you've killed something, you are immortal. And how handy with that cheat death coming from the follower in that scenario. So stacks it up at 8 now. I'm just laughing. That's so funny. I've already recorded this video once, and because Windows updated, it disconnected my microphone. So I've got a video on my hard drive of me with no audio. But now that we're up, as I say, with the cheat death of the follower, we wouldn't have died then. We'd have killed that first goat man. We'd have got this stuff. We'd have the Avarice Band. We'd have the Immortality from Goldrap, which would be super nice. What I would say is when you get to anything kind of single target or elite, you probably may as well hit the D key to get the extra damage. And again, if you're going to play it a bit more kind of brainless close range, then there's an argument for Trapped being better, I think, than the Thurs. But as I say, it makes Juggernaut just a little smoother. I'm for like the kind of 10k main stat or under that. It's not too bad really. And also the super high attack speed probably gives us a bit of a false reading on the sheet damage. But yeah, pretty good. So again, Nems we would have had would be even further along. But with the teleport being so fast, with you having huge access to it with all the bits and bobs, you really can fly around the map very fast. So it does make hopping from elite to elite not too bad. I mean, the worst thing you can do really is basically get lost, go the wrong way, get lost. You've got no sweeping wing stacks, and you have to build them back up again. Which is, as I say, the Kirishira's Soul Belt is kind of nice for that, but it is just a little bit hard to work in. Plenty of pylons. Man, I really wish we had the NEMs. But yeah, 2.7, can't wait. We do obviously get all these changes as soon as it goes live, which is pretty good. Do we risk the pool of reflection? We'll probably die again if we take it. It's just how RNG's is. And yeah, you can build this up in power onto the Legacy Dreams, but I do need to show you the spec with the Gons in for this. It doesn't change much. We basically just take Stone of Jordan and we get rid of this squirts, which does help us a little bit at the start of the rift because we don't take the negative effect of the squirts, which is obviously the extra damage taken, and we work in the trapped because we basically dump out the shielding gem, the gizzard. We don't need that anymore. But yeah, not too bad. I don't think for under 10k main stat. Arguably, Patterns of Justice would be more efficient than this on average. Obviously, nice map wave of light's still going to be pretty good. But obviously, again, Patterns of Justice benefits from the follower changes. Now, when we do add the Gons back in, as I was saying, obviously we've got no gems in. Stick your main stat gems in. But yeah, Trapped and Stone of Jordan, put the Rogue in the cube and basically dump the squirts. And then once you add the main stat in, you'll pretty much make up for the squirt loss. It's just easier to play because you're not worrying about keeping up a shield. But let's have a look at the Wave of Light version. Wave of Light version? Legacy Dreams version. We don't change much. Obviously, the gear completely changes. But in terms of skills, the only swap is Serenity Ascension. This gives us 4 seconds damage immunity at the start of the rift. We do actually take the squirts for the full LoD version. You don't have to. Again, you could drop this for a Bane of the Trapped again, and you could take a Hellfire. Again, that's another option to take. But in terms of gear, this is the same. Shoulders is open. We could do homing pads, and that would give us the uninterrupt teleport. That probably would be better. But I've just left these on just to show that it's a fairly open slot. Gloves, Mage Fist, 20% extra fire damage, lovely jubbly. We put the gold wrap on the character. We've got Swamplands here in the next patch. You don't need these, you don't need to make a Witch Doctor, you just take Blackthorn Pants and make sure you get the same elements as your Stone of Jordan. So it doesn't have to be fire. Fire is the skill, but these could all read cold or lightning, holy, whatever, it doesn't matter. It just adds them together. Again, I've obviously pinched this off my Demon Hunter, so we should have max spirit, which again would help us out with the Wave of Lights a little bit more. Crudest Boots, we get extra Mystic Allies. That is kind of handy because, again, a bit more spirit regen. We swap over to Kirishira's, as we said at the start of the video. It gives us a nice modifier on Wave of Light, makes us hit pretty hard. But other than that, I think it is pretty similar. We've got Pride's Fall. We never really get to use this. This is from Act 2 bounties, so you need to do some bounties to get this, but we get a 30% resource cost reduction, which is nice. We also have resource cost reduction from Syndicate, obviously because we've got the fire room. We get more fire damage again, which is nice. And for this slot here, again, this is fairly open. Broken Promises just keeps it kind of smooth because we get crit chance. If we fail to do any crits after 5 non-consecutive crits, we get 100% crit chance for 3 seconds. But by all means, Convention of Elements, you could put squirts here and take a Hellfire for an extra passive. Could be nice, although farming Hellfires is a bit of a pain in the arse. Trying to find a passive that's nice stats and an ancient one. But again, it's another idea. Basically, this is a lot more flexible because you've obviously got freedom of pieces and stuff, and you're not worried about keeping up sweeping wind stacks. So I guess this is probably a slightly better an endgame version. And it's probably a little easier for bounties and stuff like that because again, you're not worrying about those stacks. But we'll pump the Paragon back in. Damn, I was hoping that'd be nice. We'll pump the Paragon back in. And have a little look and show you that this is pretty good. That's the Pride's Fall bonus, which is good. So we hop in, we hit Ascension, and then that's it. We've now got the squirts up, we've got gold, and yeah, same. We fly around with the Ingerm. You know, if we look like we haven't picked up any gold for a little while, we just pop Ascension again, but otherwise you don't need to press it. Followers should have NEMs. In 2.7 they will, so that would be more progression, which is nice. And as you can see, we've got tons of resource with the Syndicate and the Pride's Fall. It's a nice combo. And even if we did do something really stupid, we'd have the Mystic Ally there, which is nice. And we basically force tons of Zodiac procs into Epiphany. Is it Epiphany? Yeah, Epiphany Insight. And we also get crazy teleports even without Ingame, because again we get so many procs going into that. So you kind of don't really want to use your other skills, but you can do. Look at that condition. I was expecting an elite to come out of that. But yeah, this is probably what I'd move to. I don't know if I'm going to play any Monk next season. I did play it a fair bit this season. It's always fun. It's a very nice build to play. It's very trippy. Wave of Light's always kind of good. We missed that pylon. I don't know whether we grabbed it or not. But yeah, oh look at this. Stuff blown off map. That's the nice thing about Wave of Light. But yeah. So there, wasn't sure if we had gold, so we popped the Ascension, and it gives us the invulnerability. But yeah, certainly one of the better key farming builds in the game. Probably the best. As I say, we'll see what the comment section brings. But Raiment, man, that is a bad start for the Monk. It's not good, but at least you get some fun stuff later on. And you can do support Monk. You know, it's still, you can still get into some groups with that. Albeit, I guess it's probably not looking terribly meta anymore. Deja Vu, we've had this map already. So again, you would pop the Ascension there before taking the pylon, because you would be expecting NEMs. Let's go kill the Rift Guardian. Yeah, and it's kind of nice to pop the mantra before anything. You know, single target, goblins, that kind of stuff. It's nice to just get that damage boost. But yeah, it wrecks. Wave of Light, pretty good. So that is the video. Wave of Light, I hope you like it. You've got a few options. Sunwuko is probably pretty fine to play with Paragon in. But, you know, it's always nice to collect up all the ancient items, and the flexibility is pretty good. Enjoy your day. Let's fingers crossed for a good Firebirds buff at some point soon. I'll see you in Season 23. Take it easy. Peace.